FM 94, this is Paladin.
Hi, Paladin. It's Janet Gardner. How are you?
I am stoked. I am so happy you called me today.
Thanks for having me.
It's my pleasure. I am such a big fan. You guys have done great work. I got to meet you one time at Halfway Jam several years ago. I don't even know how many back in the day.
That was only a few. I think it was like 4 years ago.
4 or 5, yeah, something like that. Yeah. And Halfway Jam is no longer, so that's kind of unfortunate. I did get to introduce you guys on stage, as I recall, and I got to do an interview with Cher. Well, I understand you've got big things planned.
Yeah, we do. You know, I have a new solo album out. Yeah, we're going to hit the road pretty soon. We've been just doing some promotion and stuff and getting some reaction off the album and having a great time.
Super, yeah. Do you have a name for the new album?
Yeah, it's called Your Place in the Sun. It's on Pavement Entertainment. It was released on May 31st.
Okay, super. Now, when you say we, are you referring to you and Justin James?
I am, yes.
Okay, well, tell me about Justin, because that's a name I don't know.
Justin is from the Chicago area, and I met him backstage at a show that we were doing at the Arcada Theater, and got to know him a little bit. And then he was playing bass for Taiketo on a Monsters of Rock cruise, so I got to know him a little better then.
And this was all while you were still with Vixen?
Yes, and, you know, we became friends, and then we became more than friends, then we got married, and then we started making music together, and we were kind of...
Wow! You got married. How come that's not on your bio? This is huge news. Men across the universe are mourning the loss of an opportunity right now. They're all crying. Well, Janet, that's exciting.
Yeah, this is our second album together.
Mm-hmm.
The last one came out in 2017 when I was still in Vixen. We had such a good time making the first one that, you know, we just couldn't stop. So we kept writing and recording and writing and recording, and all of a sudden, boom, we had another album ready to go.
That's awesome news. Now, there was a change, right, in your status with Vixen as of January?
I left in January. I stepped aside and said, you guys carry on, but I am no longer going to do this.
And you agonized over that choice, as I understand it.
I absolutely did. It took me a couple of years to actually make that choice. You know, it was complicated, and it's hard to walk away from something that you've put so much into over so many years. But it was definitely time to make that move. So I wish them all the best. We're all going our separate ways.
This is basically an amicable separation?
Yes, very much so.
I texted Cher. I think I overwhelmed her with texts. I didn't even know about that. She told me about it, that you had left, and she had nothing but positive things to say. I'm glad that everything worked out and that you're getting to do something you really dearly love. I hope maybe you'll send me a copy so maybe I can play some for some of the folks here on the radio.
Absolutely. I can't believe you don't have a copy.
The station is pop until 9 p.m. 9 p.m. till 3 a.m. it goes active rock, and they've given me a small rock show for 80s and 90s rock music immediately prior to that show at 9 o'clock, and I call that Twilight because it happens before the dark. I cover the 2 decades before 2000, and Jay-Z after 9 o'clock covers the 2 decades after, basically. So essentially...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it may not be showing up on your publicist and your marketing people may not have my information.
Looking forward to getting out to Minnesota.
I would love it, man. If we could get you in studio to do an acoustic set, that would rock.
Oh, yeah, we'd love to do that. So if we're in the area, you've got it. We will do that. Do it around here a lot. I live in Connecticut. So
oh, you're in Connecticut. Okay. Because I thought Vixen was based in Minnesota, or did you move?
Vixen started in Minnesota, but nobody has lived there in ages.
I see.
Cher actually is a native Minnesotan. And Jan, the original guitarist, started Vixen in Minnesota. But they all moved to California, and then the rest of us joined there. And I don't think anybody's ever moved back to Minnesota, unfortunately. But
well, the winters would encourage California as a choice.
Yeah.
Is it cold in Connecticut in the winter? Is it bad?
It is, but I grew up in Montana, so Connecticut's not bad in comparison to that.
Completely, absolutely your temperate zone. You're comfortable with it.
Yes.
This last winter kicked my booty. I'm not a native Minnesotan. I came from Texas. And this polar vortex, it killed 2 vehicles, and oh my gosh, it was a mess. I know that you've put out so many things. You've got so many hits and gold records and everything. I mean, Edge of a Broken Heart, Crying, How Much Love, Love is a Killer. I was thinking I would play Love is a Killer out of the interview. How do you feel about that?
That sounds great. Would love that.
Super. Well, I'll do that. One other thing before I do that, I almost forgot. Website, social media, how do they find the album and all that stuff?
Well, the album is available anywhere. So if you put it in Amazon, you can search for it. You can get it digitally. You can get a CD off Amazon. It's on iTunes. If you just Google Janet Gardner, you can't miss it. Our website is on there. It's janetgardnermusic.com. We're on Facebook and Instagram. I'm not a tweeter yet, so not a lot of tweets going on, but you'll find us.
I don't tweet either. I know. It's a select, we're a minority.
The tweet thing.
I just use Facebook. I do have a Twitter account, but I never use it for anything. It just sits there dormant, so nobody gets any new information from me. But I've got multiple Facebooks, and we have the station Facebook. So what's basically going to happen is, obviously, we've been talking live on the radio, but essentially what's going to happen is after we hang up, I'm going to load this on YouTube, and then I'll post the link on our station Facebook on FM94-KFML on Facebook so everybody can catch it who missed it.
Perfect. I'll share it, and we'll get some people listening.
All right. It sounds great. Well, thank you so much for talking to me. I'm going to go into Love is a Killer right here, right now. You're listening to Twilight on FM 94.